Next natural disaster is drought. What do you mean by drought? Let's see. It's a condition of severe shortage of water supply. If there is no rain, no rainfall, water won't be there, then every area becomes so dry. It is drought. Drought is a condition of severe shortage of water supply. Some droughts are of shorter duration, whereas some last or continue for years. Some droughts, some areas, if droughts are, the water shortage is only for few days or some days, it will be, afterwards it will become normal. But there are some droughts, it will continue for longer years. That area remains dry for many years. You can see the image here. Image of drought means full of, see, dryness. In trees, no leaves also. Droughts occur due to lack of or insufficient rainfall. Because of no rainfall, along with the excessive usage of existing water resources. See, water resources like, groundwater, river, lakes, these are water resources actually. If people are using more and more, overuse of these resources leads to shortage of water. Then at the same time, if there is no rainfall also, together brings this condition drought. So droughts can lead to the destruction of crops. Yes. Damage to the soil. No crops. Farmers won't be able to cultivate crops if there is no water. Malnutrition. Yes, if there is no water, we won't get food properly. No enough food and water on the proper time. It leads to malnutrition, weakness to the body. People die. Death of humans and animals. If there is no water, animals also cannot survive, right? Yes. The mass movement of people from one place to another. Large number of people shifting from one place to another because of drought. That area no water, then people shift from that place to another place. So these are the problems happens when there is drought. Then the effects of a drought can be controlled by making judicious usage of available water resources. Whatever water resources are available, like rivers, water, lakes, these are water resources, well, everything. So these we should use it judicially, means wisely. With the sense you should use that these are water resources. There's a chance of getting shortage. We should not waste it. Then adapting to rainwater harvesting. Try to collect rainwater when rain falls on the roof of the house itself. Arrange something to collect the rainwater so that, and you can direct it to directly to the tank. Okay, so rainwater harvesting, collection of rainwater. Rainwater is such a pure water it is. Recycling of water. Recycling means we can reuse the waste water. Recycling of water means reuse the waste water. Like instead of taking a shower, take a bath in a bucket of water. Shower leads to loss of water. Then the water which you are using for washing clothes and all, you can use it for watering plants. So like that you have to reuse the water. Do not waste water. Dirty water you can, instead of throwing it, or the vegetables you wash it, isn't it? That water, instead of wasting it, you can water the plants. So like that you can save water. That is called recycling of water. Reuse the waste water for some other purposes. Do not waste water in any way. You have to conserve it. Then if there is any leakage of taps and all, repair it. A drop of water can make floods, so repair it and do not waste water, save water. Cultivating crops which require less water. Yes, cultivate the crops. For crop cultivation we need water, but don't, without wasting water, with less water cultivate. So these are the effects of how the control, the ways which we can control shortage of water or drought. Major drought prone regions in India are, these are the regions where drought can likely to happen. Southern and eastern Maharashtra, northern Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Gujarat and Rajasthan. These are the places where this water shortage can happen more, or drought can happen more. In 2012, the Indian state of Karnataka faced severe drought. See, in 2012, that year, Karnataka, this state faced a serious drought condition there. People suffered a lot. No water, no food. Many died. Many need to shift. So these are the problems happens when there is drought. It's a condition where severe shortage of water will be there because of no rainfall and because of overuse of the existing water resources. This drought condition happens and it leads to destruction of crops, malnutrition, death of animals, human beings, and people need to shift from one place to another. We can control it by how? By conserving water, by saving water, recycling water, then by adapting to the rainwater harvest. These are some ways where we can control this drought by saving water, by conserving water. So it is our duty to conserve water, save the water. If there is shortage of water, use the water resources wisely. Think and use it without wasting it. In that way we can control the drought. So yes children, so far we learned about the disaster management, or how this natural disasters occurs suddenly without any information, sudden threat to the human life and property, or emergency situations caused by natural factors. These are disasters or natural activities that happens under the deep layers of earth. Results in these disasters. They are earthquakes, cyclones, drought, tsunamis, floods, etc. So earthquakes is a sudden movement on the part of earth's surface. Is earthquake in the outermost layer of the earth. Sudden movement sudden shaking happens there because of more excess of pressure, and it comes to the surface of the earth and earthquakes happens, and this a great loss happens to the human life and property because of earthquake. Many lost their lives, then many were killed, or many becomes homeless. Then measuring of earthquake, we saw like there's an instrument to measure the intensity of earthquake, or how the force of earthquake is seismograph, or study of earthquake is known as seismograph. Richter scale is a standard scale where we can measure the intensity of the earthquake. If in the scale 1 to 10 readings are there, above 6 and above means great damage happens to human life and property, even death also. And we saw some safe measure, some of the ways where we can be safe during an earthquake. Without panic, you should be calm and you should go inside a room under the table or bed. Don't stand near the area where anything can fall down onto you. Do not use lift or elevator when you are in the upfloor. Use staircase. If you are outside, go in an open area, you stay there and not under the building or tree. Yes. Now volcanoes. We learned volcano is a region or a vent in the earth's surface, a hollow space. We say from there what happens? A hot magma, like hot air comes out, like fire, which is called lava. Because earth crust become weak and it forms a crater or hollow space. We say from that this hot magma comes out, called volcanic eruption. And we learned there are 3 volcanoes: active, dormant, and extinct. Active volcano is very dangerous. It is likely to happen in the future also. At any time it can happen. Dormant is not that active, but there's a chance of erupting in future. And extinct volcano means it's no longer active. And effects we saw: destruction to life and property, and volcanic dust block the earth's sunlight, and it causes some weather changes also. But there are advantages of volcanic eruption is soil become fertile, quality of soil improves, it is good for farming, and the area, the location where volcanic eruption happened, that area, there we can, it can be used for generating geothermal energy. Geo means earth, thermal means heat. So using earth heat, we can generate electricity. That advantage is there. Then we saw about tides and tsunamis, the rise and fall of sea waves is tides actually, because of the gravitational pull of sun moon towards the ocean of the earth results in high waves, that is tides. And under the sea, the rock layers under the sea, it gets some disturbance and it causes huge waves to comes up called tsunamis. And in 2004, the tsunami that results in great damage to life and property, especially people in Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Andaman Nicobar Islands. Then floods, we saw. Floods means when if there is heavy rainfall, the water in rivers, seas, lakes flow like anything, overflows and comes to the land, and it causes floods. And because of heavy rainfall, it is happening. And when snow melts on the mountains, it comes down in the form of rivers. So these are the reasons for the floods. It can be prevented if there is proper channel for the water to flow. Then if there are more trees, then if there is good mud to absorb the water or proper embankments are there, then we can control the floods. Then we learned about safety measures during floods. You should hear the news properly. Then you have to move to the area where if you get the news. Then you have to follow instruction from the rescue teams. You have to drink clean water. Then we learned about cyclones, heavy storms, rotating storms. Along with the storms, heavy rain also. Heavy rain, and this will whatever comes in that way, it will pulls off everything. Even the strong wind pulls off electric poles also. Trees falls down. The force is great, very big, huge force of the wind destroys structures like buildings, electric poles. So no current, no power, everyone lose the communication, transport system get damages, water get impure, and it leads to waterborne diseases. So these are the effects of cyclone and safety measures. We learned that emergency numbers we should always remember, or we should write in a paper and keep, and even you have to prepare emergency kit where everything should be ready in that, and you have to move to a place if you get the news of cyclone to your friends or relatives home, and if you are driving you have to move to an open area. Do not stand near the building or tree, or even if after the cyclone also you should not go near a damaged tree or building or electric poles and all, because everything falls down, a wire, everything will be on the ground, and you may get shock or current. So you should not go near this power lines and all, and always try to drink boiled water. Then we saw about drought. It's a condition where if there is shortage of water, if there is no rainfall, no water, then this condition comes called drought, condition of severe shortage of water supply because of excessive use of water resources. And if there is no rainfall, these two leads to drought. And it also can lead to destruction of crops, malnutrition, death of humans, animals and all. So it can be controlled by using water wisely. Conserve water, save water, then try to adapt this rainwater harvesting, collecting rainwater. This is recycling of water. These are the ways by which we can control the drought. Yes. Now it's brush up. Natural events occurring on the earth which cause great damage or loss of life are called natural disasters. So natural disasters are natural events, incidents that happen suddenly and which cause a great damage to loss of life and property of human beings. The intensity of an earthquake can get determined using an instrument called seismograph. Seismograph is an instrument to measure the intensity of the power of earthquake. Volcanoes are of three types: active, dormant and extinct. When the water bodies like oceans, rivers, lakes and ponds have excess water, they overflow and it leads to floods. Now life skills. Suppose you are inside your house and you experience a slight shake. Suppose one day you are inside your house doing some work, suddenly you are shaking. Then you realize that this is an earthquake. Oh God, it is an earthquake. What should you do to save yourself? You already learned the safety measures, right? Suddenly if you are inside the home, you feel like you are shaking, what you should do? You should not be panic first of all, isn't it? Yes. Drop down, take shelter under a desk or table and hold on. Is it correct? Yes, you have to go under a table or bed. It is correct. Stay indoors until the shaking stops and you are sure it is safe to exit. Make sure that everything is okay and then only you can go out. Stay away from bookcases or furniture that can fall on you. Yes, you have to stay away from the things that can fall on you. Stay away from windows. In a high-rise building, expect the fire alarms and sprinklers to go off during a quake. Suppose you are in a big building and you are waiting for the alarm. Alarm what? Fire alarm means, and sprinklers alarm means what? Alert they give. Actually, it's a switch or device that works when any earthquake happens. This automatically will work. So actually, if you are in a high building, you will be waiting for this to alert you. Then only you go off. Will you wait for that? Then if you are in bed, hold on and stay there. If you are in bed, you should stay there, protecting your head with pillow. Will you do that? If you are on bed, you take your pillow and you will protect yourself. If you are outdoor, find a clear spot away from buildings, trees and power lines. Drop to the ground. If you are outdoor, if you are outside, you go to nearer. You have to stay away from buildings, trees and all. That you will do or what. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points are there. Among this, what you do for yourself to protect you, what you will do. That you can read and you should just give a tick that what you do. Whether you go under the table or desk, or whether you stay indoor only. If everything is safe, then only you go out, or you stay away from bookcases and anything that falls on you. And if you are in a high building, you will wait for the alarm to alert you. Or if you are in bed, you will hold on there and stay there, protecting your head with pillow. And if you are outside, then you stay away. You find a clear spot away from buildings, trees, and you go to that area. So what all things you do to protect yourself? If you feel that the earthquake is a slight earthquake, if you felt when you're inside the home, or if when you're outside, what measures you take? That you read and find out what all things you do. Okay, so you understood when sudden an earthquake happens, what must you do? What are the things that you should not do? Why you are learning all this, children? To keep yourself safe. At least you can protect yourself instead of becoming panic, fear. Keep calm and you should protect yourself. At least if you know about these things, what should you do? Because these are the things that occurs suddenly without any information. Suppose it happens, save yourself. Okay? Yes.